Okay guys, in this video, I'm going to practice how to graph a second grade function together. We're going to do this step by step. We're going to find domain, range, axis of symmetry, y-intercept, x-intercepts, if there is any, and and of course the vertex point. And I hope this video can be helpful for all of you. So what is your function? Your function is y equals to minus 3 minus x to the power of 2 plus 4x. Okay, so what is the question? The question is to go and find domain, range, vertex, axis of symmetry, you're going to go and find y-intercept and x-intercepts or x-intercept if there is any actually. Okay, that's it. We're going to go and find all of these features together: domain, range, vertex, axis of symmetry, y-intercept, and x-intercepts. Okay, and of course we want to graph the function at the end. We're gonna graph the function at the end. Okay, so the very first step you have to do is to make sure your equation is in the standard form. Your function is in the standard form. What does it mean, standard form? First, you have to have the term x to the power of 2. Then you have to have x. And then you're going to have the number. Okay. So what does it mean? My function currently is not in the standard form. So first, I go and put minus x to the power of 2 in order. Okay. And remember, this minus is for x to the power of 2. Then I'm going to go and put 4x plus 4x. And then I'm going to put the number without any x. Okay. So now my function is in the standard form. Okay. Why this is important? I'm going to call it step 0, the very first step. Okay. A very basic step you have to do at the beginning to arrange your table. If you want to eat, first you have to arrange your table, right? You're arranging the table here. So it's important because now if I ask you what is a, you're going to tell me it's minus 1. Why? Because minus x to the power of 2 is like minus 1 times x to the power of 2. So a is minus 1. What is your b? B is 4 plus 4. And what is c? C is minus 3. Okay, now that you have a, b, and c, you're going to go and find all the features that question is asking you to find. Okay, so I'm going to skip for now domain and range. Let's talk about y-intercept. In fact, first, let's talk about whether your function is concave up or concave down. You know that since a here is negative, so your function is concave down. Okay, this is the very first thing you need to consider. What is the second step? The second step is to find y-intercept. We know that y-intercept equals to c, or c helps you to find the value of the y-intercept. So minus 3 is your y-intercept, 0 and minus 3. So this point here, minus 3, is actually your y-intercept. Now, what about the third step? The third step is to find axis of symmetry. But what does it mean, axis of symmetry? Do you agree with me? Parabola or your curve of a second grade function has a form like this or this. Okay, in both of them there is a line which divide your curve in two different sections, equal sections. It's literally the axis of symmetry. This line has an equation. Equation is x equals to minus b over 2a. X equals to minus b over 2a. Okay, so this is the equation of this line, this vertical line. Now, how can I find axis of symmetry? X equals to minus b over 2a. So it's going to be minus 4 divided by 2 times minus 1, which is going to be 2. Minus 4 divided by minus 2 gives you 2. Okay, so axis of symmetry is minus 2, or 2, pardon me. So this is point 1, this is point 2. So this is your axis of symmetry. Okay, now step number 4, I'm going to go and find the coordinates of the vertex. First of all, since I know that my function is concave down, so I have a maximum point. Okay, so vertex here is a maximum point. And as you know, as I explained it in the classroom as well, the x value of the maximum point is literally the same. The equation is the same as the equation of the axis of symmetry. So minus b over 2a. So it's literally 2. So the x value of the maximum point for the vertex is 2. What about the y value? How can I find the y value? All you need to do is to plug in the x into the equation. You're going to plug in 2 instead of x into the equation. So you're going to write minus 2 to the power of 2 plus 4 times 2 minus 3, 8, 4 with a minus. So plus 8 minus 4, 4. 4 minus 3, 1. So the y value is 1, 2, and 1. So point 2 and 1, which is here, is the coordinates of the maximum point, 2 and 1. Okay. Now, how can I find the x-intercepts? Let me write step number 5 here for you with another color to make a difference. So I'm going to write step number 5 here. In order to find x-intercepts, you're going to go first, find the value of delta, which is b to the power of 2 minus 4a, c. So b is 4 minus 4 times a, which is minus 1, times c, which is minus 3. So 4 to the power of 2, 16, minus 4 times 1 times 3 gives you 12, minus times minus times minus gives you minus. So 16 minus 12 is 4. Since delta is positive, so you have 2 x-intercepts. Let's recap it. If delta is positive, 2 x-intercepts. If delta equals to 0, 1 x-intercept. And if delta is negative, no x-intercepts. Okay, so what are the coordinates of the x-intercepts? x1 is minus b plus square root of delta divided by 2a. x2 is minus b plus minus square root of delta divided by 2a. Okay, let me get rid of this mistake here. Minus b minus the square root of delta. So minus b, what is b? B is 4. So minus 4 plus square root of 4 divided by 2 times minus 1. Square root of 4 is 2. Minus 4 plus 2, minus 2. Minus 2 divided by minus 2, 1. So one x-intercept is 0.1 here. Another x-intercept is minus 4 minus square root of 4 divided by 2 times minus 1. Minus 4 minus square root of 4, which is minus 6 in total. Minus 6 divided by minus 2 gives you 3. 3 is the second x-intercept. So your graph has a form like this. Okay, this is the graph of your curve. Now we're going to check the answer, but before checking, let me complete the table here. So 0.3 and 0 and 1 and 0 are the x-intercepts. Let's talk about domain before checking the answer. Domain of all the quadratic functions by default is all the real numbers. What does it mean? In this function, you can plug in whatever you want. You can put negative number, positive number, square root, fraction, whatever you want, okay? You can also show it like from minus infinity to plus infinity. They are both the same things. All real numbers. Remember, real numbers. Okay, what about the range? Look, the y value of these points on this curve is always less than plus 1. So the y value is always less than or equal to plus 1. Or you can show it from minus infinity to plus 1 included. Okay, this is something to consider. Why? Because in this function, in this curve, the y values, as you can see, is always less than the y value of the maximum point. What is the y value of the maximum point? Plus 1. Okay, now I'm going to check my answer. Now you have the answer. You're going to check your answer with your calculator. It's the important skill you need to develop. It's very helpful also for your DP program. So I'm going to go and take the calculator. Here I graphed it earlier. This is the second time I'm recording this video. I made a mistake for the first time in recording. So now I'm going to do this process one more time. You're going to make a new document. Don't save this. You're going to go and add graphs. Then you're going to put the equation. What is the equation? Minus x to the power of 2 plus 4x minus 3. Press enter. This is the graph. Can we go and find the coordinates of the vertex? Why not? Analyze graph, maximum point. Choose this interval, and as you can see, the vertex is literally what we found before. Can I find the x-intercepts? Why not? One more time. Analyze graph, 0. It's 1 and 0, exactly what we found earlier. Can I go and find the coordinates, the other coordinates of the x-intercept? Again, why not? Menu, analyze graph, and 0. Here we go. This is the other x-intercept. And as you can see here, also y equals to minus 3 is the y-intercept. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope it has been helpful for you to dedicate your time to watch this. Have a lovely time. Thank you.